Hello and welcome to Pest Perspectives. We are now on episode 18, at least I know. I didn't know last week. Adam Holt had to correct me. And this is a podcast about the pest control industry, where the main goal, I hope, out of these podcasts, someone can learn something, even if it's a little bit. It all helps. It's made to entertain and educate at the same time. I'm not saying every podcast is going to be full of education, but it is in there. It's a mixture. And 18 episodes, and you can collect CPD on basis prompt. You can for this podcast. There is. If you go back through the podcast descriptions of the previous shows, can't remember off the top of my head. There's 10 available, but you can only claim 6 a year with basis prompt. With the British Pest Register, you can claim nearly every show I've got with that. And BPCA's CPD Diary, you can claim every show. I believe you can self-register. But this week, I'm going to preface this guest. Now, we're not talking about mold control. We are not talking about UK patangs. We're going to do a show later in the year when mold season kicks off. So this will be about mainly pest control, and we may mention deers and things like that. So we've got on Andrew McDonald from Highland Pest Response. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yourself?
I'm good. Cheers.
Good.
Nice to finally get you on. It's come round quickly.
Oh,
so
I know.
Last year, you come back off holiday from America, didn't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was away for most of May, to be totally honest. And it's just been mental since coming back and playing catch up. So, and when you messaged the other day saying, "Are you still okay for next week?" I was like, "Oh, sugar."
It's come round fast.
Oh, it's just mental.
It is. So, like with pest control, did you come out of school wanting to be a pest controller, or
No.
were you a kind of kid that was into being in the fields and in the wilderness and things?
Yeah, so like I've always had a passion for field sports, sort of, and that sort of thing, fishing and shooting and that sort of country style and a way of life and stuff like that. And I think, like, as every young boy in school, like, I want to be a spaceman, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a policeman and all that sort of thing, you know. And then actually, just like, I've always been brought up around the field sports sort of thing. My father was an avid sort of fisher and shooter and whatnot. So once I discovered that you could get a job when I was young, like being a gamekeeper and all that, and like, I suppose it's ignorant in a way, but you're young, you don't know. Like, you think, it must be the best job in the world, you know, fishing and shooting all the time. It's far from doing that all the time. But no, and I went down the path of gamekeeping, and I think, like, a lot of pest controllers as well, you know, sort of come from some form of background like that, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
So.
I'm not in that category, but a lot of people are.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yeah.
But yeah, gamekeeping. So, what did you have much gamekeeping experience? How long did you do that for?
So you're going to ask me about dates here. I haven't got a clue, but like,
I don't mean dates. Just like,
yeah, no, I left school at 15, and had to wait. Like, it was sort of coming up to the summer holidays, finished my exams, left school at 15 in 4th year, and went to work straight onto a pheasant farm. And then the day I could sign my leavers form, I went back into the school. I was meant to be back in school and like for a month before signing it, but I just never went.
15?
Went back.
How old are you then?
How old do you think I am?
I thought you were like my age, like 40.
Oh, thanks. No. I'm 10 years younger than that.
Oh, so it's the way you said. It's the way you said at 15, because I remember my dad and uncle, and people like my uncle, when he was 15, he actually got a job in a factory. Back then, they didn't care. But so you're younger than me, and you got away with it at 15.
Yeah, so we can leave at 16. I think you can leave school. I mean, it might have changed now, but at the time you could leave at 16.
It's 18 now. They've changed. Well, they want you to go into higher education or an apprenticeship. They try to get you to do that.
so like there's the 6 years of high school sort of thing. I left in the 4th after my exams, and then I was meant to go back after the summer holidays for like a month before I could get my leavers form signed to leave, but I just never bothered. And I went back the day, I think it was on my birthday, and I went in and got my leavers form signed. I think, to be honest, my teachers were relieved that I was gone. Like, so, but you know, like some of the teachers said, like they know with me not being in class, I'd got a Skive school and stuff like that, and I don't recommend doing it, but like I would do it, and I would go off and work on estates, like for work experience, and meant to be at school and this. But they said I'm better off out there doing that, doing something I want to do, than disrupting the rest of the class. And they're right, you know. You are right. When you're young, though, isn't it? It's like, if you look at it from the point of like everybody sticking at school, work hard, get a job, you know, all this sort of stuff, and like get a trade, do all the thing, and everyone says it to you. And when you're a kid, you're like, yeah, whatever, I want to do this, I'm not listening to you. And you know, it's like the same as like when you're a kid, it's like, you know, bedtime. It's like, no, I don't want to go to bed, I want to stay up as late as possible. When you get to our age and stuff, you're like, I can't wait to get to bed, you know. It's just but I think there was that side of it of like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to teachers, and I don't like teachers and all that sort of stuff and everything. And funnily, I'm actually with a teacher now, so it's quite funny. But but yeah, so I did that. Went to work in the pheasant farm. Went back to my leavers farm, and then I did like a season's grouse beating and stuff like that, pheasant beating, just to gain experience on estates and whatnot, and do in that sort of field. Found myself a placement for an estate doing deer stalking. Went to college. And did my national certificate in gamekeeping, and then went on to do my higher national certificate. But then I took a gap year for certain reasons, and then went back to do my higher national certificate at a place and doing pheasants, pheasant, partridge, and duck, and a little bit of deer. Did that, worked on that estate for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I can't remember. 5 years, I think. Worked there. I left there, went to another one, and the job was missold to me majorly because they were so desperate for somebody. I took a pay cut to go and everything. I started work on the Monday, and the young pheasants arrived on the Tuesday. It was just like all go at once. Like I say, the job was missold, long story short, but I left there after about 6 weeks. And from that point, I didn't know what I was going to do. Fortunately, I was fortunate I could move home with my mother and father at the time. Moved back there, temporary sort of thing, and then decided at that point to go self-employed. And I'd be lying if I said never looked back. But it all has its ups and downs, you know. But we are where we are today, sort of thing. So, and I've never looked back in a sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is. I just want to shout out a couple of people in chat. Hi to Jason McAfee from Pest Control, and also Adam Edwards. How you doing, mate? Thanks for tuning in. So, when it comes to something interesting, because obviously the UK has got an overpopulation of deer, I believe. Is that correct?
Certain places. There's places without it.
Is it quite bad in Scotland, where you are?
So there's a massive conflict of different opinions on this sort of subject. So, like, you've got traditionalist people, and everybody is like, I'm one person that everyone is entitled to an opinion. That's your opinion, that I think it's right or wrong. I generally, that's up to you. But like, you'll get, no matter what you say, if you say it from one side or the other, you're gonna, you know, someone's gonna give a hate or whatever. But you know, whatever. Like I say, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But there is areas where there's a massive overpopulation and stuff like that. And then there is pockets without as many, and they've got a good manageable level and stuff like that. People, you get the traditionalists of traditional deer stalking and stuff like that. excuse me, they go out with a client, they take a client's deer stock and they do a bit of management themselves as well when they don't have clients and go on that, the traditional sort of deer stalker. And there is a place for it. But then we also need to look at the other side of it, of habitat impact, animal welfare as well. When you've got a mass herd of deer, the condition of that deer it's not as good as if you've got less, so they go on about this magic deer per square kilometre sort of thing. But if you've got, there's some places that you, like up here especially, they've got this massive fenced off, forestry planting areas. So the deer are more confined to one area, and the damage on that bit of ground is just significant because of they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're confined to this area. But if you took it across the whole, if you've got somewhere that's 10,000 acres, say, but yet the deer only have access to 2,000 acres, there's going to be a lot more damage in the 2,000 acres than there is in the other 8. But you're taking your deer per square kilometre across the whole 10,000, so it's a false figure in a sense sometimes. But it's there is a need for more pressure on deer management in certain areas. Like I say, where I live, when we moved here, I think 16 years ago or something like that, my mother and father built this house, and you would see the odd roe deer, say, every night on my way home now, it's try not to hit a roe deer. But there wasn't a huge population. There's not still a massive population, but it's just they're now starting to get to that stage that they need to be managed. Because then, if not, road safety comes into it and stuff like that. How would you feel if you owned somewhere, you've got a mass deer problem, and your deer were all over the road, and it jump in front of a car with a fat young family in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen them come across the road before. Luckily, we weren't. We've seen them come in the distance, and you stop for a minute in case there's more.
Yeah.
But a while ago, was it last year? This year, it might have been this year. Me and my dad's in chat. Hi, Dad. We've seen them in a field. All these deer. And I've never seen them in the open. They were in an open field. They were all across this field. They were. I thought they were pretty cool. I've never seen them like that. I haven't.
I don't pay. I know the regulations and the seasons and everything. It's all different down in England and Wales compared to Scotland and stuff like that. But I don't know that much about the way it's done down there and stuff, but I know that there is pockets down there where there is an absolute major problem, where you've got groups of herds of fallow deer running through places. There's 500 fallow deer. It's really, what's that about? But I think because there's so much small pockets of land, it's they're on one landowner's bit of ground, and then 10 seconds later they're on another one. And whereas up here, our landmass, it's a lot more they've got across 1,000 acres, not 100 acres and stuff, so it's a lot harder down there to control them, I think, compared to the likes of up here. Carry on.
No, carry on, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, when you were saying about them on the road, I got a few years ago when I got my new truck, I had it I think I had it not even a month, maybe a month, something like that. And I was driving along the road one morning. We'd been out foxing, and I was driving home, and a blinking red hind came out right in front of me. I was actually only doing probably about 45, 50 mile an hour or something like that max. And by the time I jumped the brakes, then she just went straight into the front of it, and I had to get a whole new front end in the front of my truck, and only had it a month, And ironically, it was actually right beside one of the pieces of ground that I do deer management on. So it was a bit of deer karma, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
So I was just and then that truck obviously got it repaired and everything. That's fine. I just got another one there, another truck, just in April, and I didn't hit the deer. The deer hit me. When I was on my way home the other night, it jumped into the side of my truck, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So,
Oh no.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I love deer, like, this is the thing, but people will call, like, folk who do deer management professionally and stuff, like, we're called contract killers.
But, yeah, but the problem is, do you think that the public needs to be educated on what can happen? Because I don't think they're educated.
No,
on
they
what
think
damage they can cause.
No, they just look at Bambi, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
The same as, like, the venison market is saturated. Like, it's just like we're getting a lot more pressure, like, across the UK as a whole, we'll say, to put to kill more deer, and it's supply and demand. So when the market's flooded, the price drops, and everyone's moaning about the price of the venison, because we're getting paid pennies for it. Like, I think, I don't even have anything to hand here, but I think the last I was getting was for red and Sika was it £1.40 a kilo or something, £1.40 a kilo, maybe 160. And I think roe deer was like 1.80 a kilo. It's pathetic. Wow. But yet they've been forced to use copper ammunition, which is like 3 times the price of blinking. It's not quite 3 times the price, but it's like double the price of normal lead ammunition.
Okay.
We're going by a new pickup now. You can't find a pickup that starts with any number apart from a 4 damn near. I mean, you do get cheaper tracks, but like the price of vehicles has increased significantly.
Oh yeah, they definitely have. Yeah.
Yeah. The price of ammunition's increased. The price of rifles have increased. Scopes, thermals. There's all this stuff, but yet the price of venison's gone down. Fuel. There's another thing. But the price of venison's gone down. But I think from the public eye, it's Bambi, and this is the problem. There's no. I know some of the game dealers are trying to do a bit more promotion with it and stuff like that, but it's just not out there publicly, and like nowadays there's like a lot of this. I know one of the game dealers, they try to go to the local schools and try and educate the kids from a young age where they need to learn from. Like, how many people think, especially in the bigger cities, people walk into Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda's, whatever.
Yeah.
They think that's where the chicken comes from, or the beef comes from. They don't realise that it's in a field.
It's true, because I was watching that, Caleb from Clarkson's Farm Park. He's got a program on Amazon, and he done a tour, but he recorded one of them, and he said that he was in a shop, and he asked this lad, where do you think that milk comes from? And he went, the supermarket. And he says, it broke my heart that children don't know where milk comes from. So,
but there's no education for it.
But he recorded a whole thing on the show on Amazon, so millions would have seen it.
Yeah.
Showed them how the milk came, and he recorded it all, went through, so people would know. But he says, people should know. But he says they sadly don't.
No, there's no education for it, and this is where there needs to be more promotion in that sense of things, like educate them. But the schools wouldn't allow the game dealer to go because too many of the parents were like, "Oh, you're not teaching my kid that you kill Bambi." It's like, fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? It's just it annoys me that side of things, but it's the world we live in nowadays, eh?
It is, but so. Because I've heard that is the government giving. I'm not saying that they are. That the situation's got that bad that they're giving free funding for deer stalking. I think you've got to meet the requirements. You have. So
in England, I'm not that clued up and down there, but I think you can get almost like a bounty. So some places that have got surveys done. I don't know what the criteria is. I have no idea. So if someone can jump on and who does know them, great. But I think they can get a payment per head or per certain amount or something like that, or if they're reduced to a certain density. Up here, there's, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing like that. But there is the private estates will pay contractors to come in, or like government bodies will pay contractors. They'll also use their own contractors and stuff. And the way a lot of that works is you're paid a bounty per head. Is the way that is. Like, it'd be like you going out and doing a rabbit control job and being paid per rabbit. You know, it's the same. But like I said,
like we won't talk about it, but it's like some people that think it's still £5 a mole. But we're not talking about moles on this show, are we?
I do mole control daily, not daily, but I do mole control as part of my pest control anyway. So I'm more than happy to talk about that side of things. But that's the thing, and there is, I think even that £5 a mole. I think if you can go onto a farm and you're going to catch 1,000 moles off it, well, if you want to do it at £5 a mole, then cart on, because the farmer's not going to pay you 10, 12, 15, £20 a mole, or whatever, when you're catching high numbers like that. But yeah, it's so it's not easy. It's not easy money. That's for sure. Like, it's hard work. That's the thing, and it's fine. The same as a deer, and being paid this bounty. That's where we just get called contract killers, and that's fine. But have a go at me for it if you want, for being a contract killer. But if I'm not doing it, guess what? Someone else is going to be doing it.
It's true.
If your accountant doesn't do your books, guess what? A different accountant will do it. Someone else will be doing it. So it's like,
there's always be someone else. There will.
Oh, exactly. So there is a lot of, though, I don't know what the word is, recreational stalkers, though, and they go out and they shoot a handful of deer a year and stuff like that, and that's great, but doesn't make a dent in the population, and if you've got, there's a lot of them as well that they want to shoot more and more deer, and they hate the fact they don't get the opportunity because all the deer are getting shot around them by a contract killer, and there is a lot of jealousy in that side of things, that they shooting it and stuff, and it can be, it's the best industry in the world, but it can also be quite, I don't know what the word to use. What's that?
Doggy dog.
Yeah, it can be, or cliquey, or it can be like that, But there's amazing people in that world, like the deer management world. There's amazing people in that.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Because you'd think, though, if the government was offering incentives, that they would start to educate the public. But I suppose you don't want to spend money on educating people, because it wouldn't be that difficult to run a load of nice videos explaining why they're causing problems and put them over social media or something. But we can't do that, can we?
No. Common sense.
Yeah.
Not allowed to use that now.
No. Do you do a lot of deer work at the minute, or?
Not this time of year, no. I don't personally. We still do a small amount in this time of year, just go out for an evening or a morning and stuff like that. But not a heck of a lot of this time of year for me. But there is a lot of folks still do a lot of this time of year, but just me personally, I don't. It's more of my winter time sort of thing. I don't do near as much as I used to do. I was doing probably anything from, I don't know, anything from 300, 400, 500 deer a year, something like that, as we were killing. But I don't do that now. It's just that other things have come up and focusing more time on that. I'd like to get more into it, back into it, but I would like to start doing more again. But I just, at the moment, I'm doing other stuff and trying to juggle so much at the moment that I just don't have the time to commit to somebody who's wanting it, No,
that's fair enough. That is, I know you're a busy guy. Whenever I send you a message, you're always doing something, you are.
I know, it's awful. It's awful. It's just trying to juggle things.
The problem is, some people say it's a good thing to be busy.
Mm-hmm. It's a good complaint. Is my favourite thing at the moment.
That's it, a good complaint.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I hate turning work away, and I hate letting people down. I enjoy helping people. When somebody has a problem, if I can solve it, then great. I got a phone call 2 weeks ago, I think it was, about honeybee removal. I don't do it, and I'm sorry, I can't help you. And I hate letting them down. It's something I would definitely look into for the future, but at the moment I don't do it. And I to be honest, I don't get that much request for it, in a sense. So at the moment, I mean, if I did offer it and went on courses and learned how to do it properly and things like that, then I would promote it more than that, if that makes sense. But there's a lot of like local beekeepers up here and stuff that do it. So I just say try one of them. That's the best help I can give you, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And Adam Edwards said you would think he's after someone to come to Scotland. He's put.
Yeah, but when you coming, Adam?
Yeah.
He's
always busy. He's always busy, like you. He is.
Yeah, that's it. He needs to jump on his push bike and get up here for a week. We are looking to. We're expanding at the moment, and we're looking to take somebody on. So it's just we've been looking for quite a while. But it's challenging. It is challenging.
I don't know what it's like, so I don't know. You got to get the right person, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%.
You got to get someone with experience.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I'll be totally honest. I'm probably not the. I'm a social person. Like I like being social and things like that. But at the same time, like I hate people. Like it's so weird. Like it's not that I hate people, but it's just. I don't know how to describe it, to be totally honest. It's like, sometimes the job would be great without customers, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I'm probably not the easiest to get on with sometimes. And like don't get me wrong, a lot of my friends that can help out in jobs so we do some bracken management, like the weeds, bracken control.
So do you do that then?
Yeah. So like with a quad bike and a roller. Is the method used because we're not allowed to use chemicals on this site. So we roll it twice a year. It's over a period of 5 years, and by the end of the 5th year, like year 6, it should be gone. But it'll never be completely gone.
So could you explain for the podcast and me what that is? Mm-hmm. What's bracken?
It's a fern is the best way to describe it. Like it's a plant that grows out there. Right. Grows. I don't know if it's bad with you guys down there, like across the rest of the UK, but up here in Scotland it is bad. Like there's massive patches of it, and it drowns out light from stuff below. Stuff doesn't grow. All that sort of thing. It's like a rhododendron bush. You know how they just spread like wildfire, being invasive and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah.
But do you know what? Actually, I don't know. I don't know if bracken invasive or not. I don't actually know, to be totally honest with you.
It doesn't matter. You need to work on it.
It's going to be controlled, and it also helps clearing these areas as well. They're like sort of bigger open patches. It also helps them because the site we do the deer management on as well, so it also helps us with that. But the regen in that area now that we're rolling. It's and controlling that bracken. It's made a huge difference. Like there's so much young regen popping through, like birch regen. We're getting a lot of oak regen and stuff like that as well.
That's nice then. That's really good.
You keep on top of it, and the bracken should die off and not come back, and it's not going to be shaded out, so that young trees can then sprout into bigger trees and help capture carbon and all that sort of stuff. But like at the moment we're trying to do that just now, and like one of my friends, he's been helping me out, been able to do that for me whilst I've been busy with other jobs and stuff. So I've got a network of folk that I can sub stuff to and whatnot.
That's nice.
As and when I need help, so it's really handy. But there is that side of sometimes it's letting go of the rein in a sense when you're used to doing something yourself. It's difficult, It is difficult.
You're right. Well, if you ever find the right person to join your company, you're gonna have to learn that.
100%, 100%. Like one of my friends, he did stuff for me through like a few years back. There, he did stuff over. I can't remember. A few months he was working for me anyway, and we got on so well anyway. It was quite easy for me but because I knew him. It was easier, but it's letting go of that reins and stuff and trusting them to do that properly, because it's like if they mess up, it's on me. If I mess up, it's on me, but that's fine because it's on me. It's like just as a prime example, I've got a pigeon job to do just now in a warehouse, and there's I went round to look at it there a couple of weeks ago, actually. I'm just getting around to doing it now. But nice, simple job. Pigeons in the rafters. Nothing's ever simple, but you know what I mean. Then checked it out, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, just sort of looking up, and I was like, there's gas lines running on the rafters.
Oh, no. You can't shoot, can you?
Not on all of them rafters, no. So,
No.
I mean, yes. Like, on the gable ends, there's none. So, you just got to hope that the pigeons are sitting on the gable ends. But it's, you take into account your risk assessment there. Yeah. How confident are you with margin of error? It's, yeah. So, things like that. Like, if that goes wrong, it's on me. Sending someone else to do that, I'd be sweating. I'm not going to lie, I'd be sweating. But the more you get used to somebody and somebody's, you get used to taking, like, you get to know each other and know their capabilities and stuff like that. I think it would be definitely easier. It's going to be I've never employed somebody full time before, so it's going to be a huge learning curve for me.
Well, I think I might be wrong. It'd be good, but I think to start with, you probably have the person with you for a little bit.
Oh, so 100%. Yeah, totally, 100%. And it'll be a massive learning curve for me as well, but I'm looking forward to it because I like that challenge,
That's
but
good, that is.
We had an interesting conversation today. I've kind of gone. I've been lucky that one of the places I worked as a gamekeeper, we were surrounded by high-end individuals, we'll say.
Nice. Very good.
High-end in business and stuff like that. So I've been fortunate in that sense to pick up some tips from them. And, like, you should really think about X or Y or, sort of things. And I never really took it on board, to be totally honest. And when I was in the States, we were actually staying with one of these guys, and I haven't seen him. It was quite nice because I haven't seen him for quite a while, and it was nice to go over and stay with him and stuff. And we were chatting about business and stuff like that. And it's there is a big difference in working for a wage and running a business. Yeah, there's a big difference in it, and speaking to different folk about it and whether they're high end or not, it's so interesting, the varied opinions. And I've grown too fast.
Okay.
And it's not a good thing. But like, again, I was having a conversation today about stuff, and by probably this time next year, it could be potential, if not sooner, potential for having another person full time.
It's good. It's good to get different perspectives, because I've had a few conversations, and because I do want to grow, like, eventually. Yeah, maybe run 2 vans and into the future, and it all stems from we're investing into a new website. We're talking to a few people.
Good.
And I've recently been asking people for more advice and trying to take it on board, and because
you're just going to be like a sponge.
Yeah,
you're just going to be like a sponge and absorb it. Yeah,
you have. But no, that's pretty cool that he went out to America and you got some advice as well. So.
No, it is. I'm grateful for it. That's the thing, and if I continue to grow the way things are going and all that, like, I'll forever be grateful for that advice, but it's not till you, like, I can sit there and say to you, like, yeah, but you need, like, you're on about your website, you need to also think about, I'm just making this up, but like local advertisement, and you think, oh yeah, but it's not till you stop and actually think about it and break it down what's been said, you're like, actually, that makes sense and whatnot, and but yeah, it's I don't know how else to say. I'm grateful for it, No,
it's good. It's like, I've noticed in the industry that everyone's now, because obviously I've never met you, but we talk nearly daily through the voice notes. Same with Adam. I can see you, Adam. He said that one of his terriers used to be called Bracken. That's what he's just put. But yeah, we all talk and we all ask each other for advice or whatever. And there's a lot of people with a lot more experience than us as well. Like, some of the advice 100%. I got from people who are a lot more experienced than me, because because I'm learning it all. Because obviously one day I will take the firm over, and it's all learning knowledge. It is just trying to learn how to get more commercial contracts and things like that.
Yeah.
I've been asking for advice, and it's quite good advice. A lot of it is.
Yeah.
To be fair,
no, that's good.
It is.
Every day's a learning day. Every day's a learning day. Like asking advice. Is. Like some people are too proud to ask for help or advice and stuff like that. I generally don't care. If I look like an idiot asking a question, I don't care as long as I get the answer that I'm looking for. You know, like I might ask. I don't know. I'm just going to make this up, but like, how do you treat a wasp's nest or something? And that might be something like, you know, a lot of people look at that and go, "What are you talking about? Oh, I've never dealt with it, so I do them, and I do know how to do it." But I'm just saying for an example. But it's just, I don't care if I look like an idiot. I want to learn. I want to know. You know, it's like just when you were saying about Adam there. Like I asked Adam about something yesterday, and I was like, "I've never used it. I have no idea. Can you explain how that works?" You know, because I didn't know. I'm never afraid to ask for that.
Because it's like,
and I think that's a good thing. Sorry, go on.
Carry on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I think that's a good thing with like the pest control industry. Like there is such a tight knit community there. So like there's a lot of people who are happy to help, and they want to see you do well and succeed and learn and all that sort of stuff. Don't get me wrong. There is also the little part of like within the community that are like dead against it, don't want to see, you know what I mean? They want everything for themselves, and there is that side of it. But that's like every industry, you know. But I do think, like, I know we're not really talking about UK Batang supplies here, but like I was saying to you earlier on today, the friends I've made within the industry with doing UK Batang supplies, they're lifelong friends. I've never met them in person. But again, we speak daily and all this sort of stuff, and it's amazing. And every one of them wants to see you do well.
It's good. It is.
Because
I think there's a change of over the past couple of years. There's been a change because in the groups, not saying which ones, but when you used to ask questions, people used to laugh and say you should know. But some of these groups, like. To get help and advice, and I've noticed that people don't really take the mickey anymore. And if they do, people go, "Well, hang on," because there's certain, like, I can't remember, it was ages ago, and I think I was in, I don't know what group I was in. I put, "This is an educational group. Why are you laughing at it?" or it's to get different, because obviously with the change of the guard and how we do wasp nests with chemicals, etc. There's tons of chemicals. There's all sorts. So if you've never used them, you're asking for advice, isn't you? There's loads of different things you can try.
You'll learn. Like, it's all very well doing. Like I stand by this, and it might be wrong, but I stand by it, and I'll always stand by this. You can read as many books as you want. You can watch as many podcasts as you want. You can do as many training courses as you want, but you will never learn as much until you make the mistakes. Making the mistakes and being on the job. That's how you learn the most. Like, I can read, I've got a first aid course next week coming up, right? And I can tell you right now, I've been doing them for years, and I get it. But every couple of years it changes. You know, like one year it's like, don't give chest compressions. The next year it's, no, give chest compressions, but don't give mouth. But, you know, they change all the time. But I walk out of there, like, I walk out of that first aid course and I'm like, what the fuck did I just learn?
The problem is, even though you've done it, if you ever have to do it, you'll be like,
it'll come back.
Actually, on a real person,
it'll come back. Like I've had to do not CPR or anything, but I've had to do like pretty like emergency first aid, we'll call it, on someone, and it just came flooding back like that. You know, and I'm just like, it was to do with a knife wound is what it was, but it was just like where it was like, oh shit, you know, like we need to get this dressed up and stuff. And it's like, you think it's not hard to tie a bandage, don't get me wrong, but it comes flooding back to you when you go to use it, you know. It's the same as if you think to, like, I haven't done I'm trying to think of something I haven't done for a long, long time that I don't actually know. I'm just trying to think of something there, but you get what I mean. Like the point of it comes flooding back to you. But when you leave that room, it's out your brain. And when you're on the job, that's when you learn. It's trial and error.
It's true. It's like when you do your courses. It's like your RSPH level 2 award in pest management, or all the basics.
Yeah. Can you remember every single thing that was in that?
I was doing it though, my brain melted. I wrote it all down. Don't get me wrong, but getting it to stick is different.
Yeah, 100%.
But I've still got all my notes now. I have. If you ever need to go back and look.
Yeah, another thing. It's you when you don't use something as well, you lose it. I'm a great believer in that.
So with that level RSPH course I did, the level 2 Pest Award in Pest Management Award, better because there's a lot of thing about it. I passed my rodents first time, but I failed invertebrates and the health and safety by only a few points.
Yeah.
But what cocked me up was cockroaches. I don't do them. I had to learn it all, but it didn't stick. But next time round, it stuck because I'd gone back and learned that much.
Yeah.
But I've never done them before, and still to this day we haven't got a job for them. I imagine you don't get them.
No, I'm not saying you don't get them. Maybe you do. I don't know. I've never had a call for it. So I don't know.
Around there, I think you do deep in the cities, but we don't work deep in the cities. We don't.
Yeah, we're so rural in the Highlands. Even a city Inverness is the closest city to me, and even then, it's like a town to you guys.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I live in the smallest county in England, but Rutland is probably bigger than where you are. It is.
Well, I think I'm in Roshire, but Sutherland up from us, I think it's the biggest county in the UK, if I remember right, or it might be Scotland. I can't remember, but it's the biggest county with the smallest population. It's mental. But if you look at the map from north of Inverness, say the first, it's sort of split up. You've got Inverness Shire and whatnot, and then you've got Ross County, and then you've got Sutherland and Caithness is a little bit at the top. But it's like I say. Maybe in Inverness you get cockroaches. I've no idea. I don't know. I've never had a phone call for them, or I've never heard anyone talking about them, so I don't know. It's the same as like bed bugs. I don't touch bed bugs. I have no interest in doing it. I have no interest at all in doing it. I've never done it. I haven't got a clue. Wouldn't know where to start. If you put me in a room with bed bugs and said, I know what they look like, but if you put me in a room with bed bugs and said treat that, I'd be like,
yeah.
I mean, I'd give it a go, but whether it would be right, I can guarantee it probably wouldn't be right. But when you don't,
well, that's fair. That is.
Yeah.
Jason's just put, I learn better from acutely doing the job more than sitting in the classroom. Yeah,
100%.
So basically, 100%. most people are more practical.
Yeah, I am. I'm thick as shit. When it comes to people.
When you put an exam in front of them, it's different. It's like that's what I had to go back a second time to do my invertebrates and health and safety regulations. Second time, I did it second time round, but I wasn't far off first time. It's annoying when you've got a few points off. And can you just give me it?
It's like my driving test. I had to do when you do your theory driving test. I failed because you get the multiple choice and the hazard perception. I failed my multiple choice the first time by 1 mark, but passed the hazard perception. So I went for the reset, and the second time I failed the hazard perception by 1 point and passed the multiple choice.
Goodness.
I'm like, see when it comes to academic side. What's that? Sorry,
I passed that first time. But literally, I got on the dot numbers. So had I got one less, I would have failed.
I'd say it was
pot luck more than anything.
my third time when I passed it, I just passed it. But like the driving side, no problem at all. Like the practical side of it, like I'm openly admit I am thick as shit when it comes to like that type of thing, like technology. Adam will laugh at that one because he knows what I'm on about there. But
but so like, Adam. Adam's not that.
That's what I'm saying, because we both regularly say that to each other. But like I'm thick as shit when it comes to that type of things, and like academic side of things, and like I'm fine on like QuickBooks or something like that to an extent. I can't do anything technical on it, but I can do my invoicing and all that sort of stuff, and I can use a computer, I can type. But doing paperwork side of things and like exams and paper and writing, I'm bad with it. Yeah, like I'm really bad with it. And like I was saying to you, I'm like, oh, can we just check this link works and stuff? I'm not good with that.
That's why I picked this, because it's far easy. You don't have to make an account. You click, put your name in, and you're in.
Yeah,
so you got to make it easy for people. You got to make it easy for people to come on the show.
No, 100%. But that's I'm a great believer in the saying of work smarter, not harder. Like, why make your life more difficult than it needs to be? It's like I was getting sick, like doing report pads, say for like contracts and stuff. I was getting so like, my handwriting's like a flipping 3-year-old's. Like, honestly, it's like, I'm trying to find something I've got written down here.
You don't need to show me. You're all right.
But it's terrible. But like on the writing and the reports and stuff, I'm like, So I ended up like a couple of years ago, I was like, right, sit down and turn it into a tick box. So like designed my own report like for myself. I made everything like a tick box. So like site checks, tick, bait box refreshed, or service tick, search for dead tick, bait box topped up tick, insect pads tick. I just tried to make everything a tick box, like, and then like your product that you've used, so whatever it may be, you just write your product name in, and then it would be your active ingredient tick and all that sort of stuff. So there is still a writing part to it for comments and stuff like that, but it saves so much time. I'm looking and thinking of going to the digital version.
I'll be honest. I was thinking about to say that. I think digital will make it so much easier for you. It would, because also you can these tablets. When it gets used to your voice, you can actually talk, and it will type it in for you. So you can do that as well.
I do that with my Google Maps all the time when I'm driving about.
So that might help you. That might.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, it's great when sometimes my missus, she'll come out with me for the day and stuff like that. If she's like at a weekend, if I'm working, or like in school holidays and stuff, and I call her my PA. Like, it's brilliant. She's just my PA and does I'm like, here you go. I'll tell you what to write. You write it. At least. Yeah. And like a customer sometimes will be like, oh yeah, you had herself with you at the weekend, and you're like, yeah, how'd you know? Because I can read your report. Or like things like on the computer and whatnot. I'm like, oh, how'd you do this? And she's like, give me the thing, and she'll do it, and it's handy, like,
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah,
that is.
But definitely works smarter, not harder.
That's good to hear. And sorry I missed your message, Jenny. Thanks for popping on. She's from America, Pest Podcast.
Hi. Okay.
I've been on that one, but earlier on, I missed this message, and he's right, because we're on about messaging each other. It's a lonely game at times. It's important to engage, in my humble opinion. I think that's what 100%. Yeah, obviously, I'm not as lonely as others, because I do work with my dad, but a lot of people are. They are. So I was saying that. So, like, actually, like, I'll probably get some hate for this, but I'm actually a seasonal water bailiff as well. So we're out at night times, like throughout the night, patrolling rivers and stuff, looking for poachers and stuff like that, protecting salmon and all that sort of thing. But we'll not get into that too much. But again, I was saying to the head bailiff the other day, like, it's a lonely job. Like, I know there's this big thing just now, well, not just now, and that's actually really bad to say, but like, there's this, there's a lot more out there to do with mental health and stuff like that nowadays, and a lot more
aware, and it's a big thing and everything. And you could, if you actually stop and think about it, like, or you're out there driving about by yourself, listening to blinking Spotify or listening to the same old radio station, it does get lonely, like, but
It does.
I'm always messaging somebody or something like that, or replying to an email or something. It's just so bad. But having the chats, like, us chatting, me and Adam, me and like loads of other folk, it's definitely good because it's that social aspect of it, and we're all bouncing ideas off of each other and all that sort of stuff, and there's so many people, again, like I say, this industry, there's so many people that I've made friends with that I know I could pick up the phone at any point if I ever felt I needed to have a chat, like an actual proper, like because I'm feeling for whatever, or I'm a bit old school in that sense. I'm like, life's tough, wear a helmet, like, and it's probably wrong, should be a bit more sensitive, but it's just the way I am. But like, if I needed to, there's several people I know I could pick up the phone and phone, and it's nice. It's nice to have that behind you. And the same as there's people out there that if they ever need to chat, phone, and they know that they can phone me.
Phone me if you want. It's fine. I
might not answer, but I'll get back to you.
Yeah, busy man. Send you a voice note, and you will.
Yeah, you probably got more chance than me. Yeah, it's like today. I was playing phone ping pong today, like missing calls, phoning back. I'd miss them, they'd miss me. Oh, I'm just like, oh.
That's fair. So, do you do a lot of rodent control, mice control? Do you do a lot of that? Do you?
Yeah, we do a lot of that. We do a lot of agricultural stuff as well. Sort of dealing with rats, mice, wasps, moles, rabbits, foxes, deer, corvids as well, pigeons. That's like our sort of main.
Do you get a lot of bird work then?
No, I don't. For certain things like lambing time, we'll do like hoodie crow, carrion crow control sort of things for farms. And like if there's crops getting hammered, as well for crop protection, we will do stuff there. As for bird work to do with like pigeons and stuff like that for buildings and stuff, no, I don't. And gull work and stuff, but I don't push it. I don't advertise it. I will. There is some customers I'll do bird work for, but very, very limited. Like I wouldn't take on a big proofing job or anything like that. I would if one of these places wanted it done, we'd certainly organise it and deal with another company to do the works and subcontract to them. There's no problem at all. But we're getting asked more and more for it. And there was the conversation I had today, like I say, and next year might look a lot different in terms of that sort of thing. But
that is.
Yeah.
You got to keep evolving and thinking of new ideas, and
you got to. You just got to.
But no, we don't generally do bird work at all. It's not our thing. But it's on our website. It won't be on our new website. It won't be.
Okay.
It won't be.
Would you do if someone for pigeons in a shed or something like that? Would you do that or
tell them to open the shed? But we don't really do things like that. We don't. However, there is
demand for it.
We don't really get the calls for it. We don't. Gotcha. But when we do, we've got other pest controllers in the area, and we recommend them because they use. Yeah. There's one Pacific one that does do bird work, and we pass it over to him. James from Pest ID is a nice guy. He is. Yeah. That's what we're doing. Yeah. There we go. Right.
See, this is the thing. Like, it's nice to have that network that you can pass stuff to. Like, you know what I mean?
Like the bee work, we pass bee removals to Elliot from EM Pest Control. He's over in Leicester, but we pass a lot of work to him.
Yeah,
because he does it. He knows what he's doing. He does. Yeah. So,
and it's good that, and like I like that with folk, and it works both ways. You pass stuff to them, they'll pass stuff to you. It's and you know, and it's good, and it should work like that. And that's like I've I'm not going to go into this with too much detail, but like,
don't need to.
There's stuff that I've got somebody else that they're doing stuff I've passed to them. They phone me about stuff up here, and that's great. But then I have done like trying to sub stuff to other folk, and they've done that and tried to stab me in the back. So now I'm like, nah, bugger you, like, you know.
No,
and I can't be asked to it. Like, so I can't. It annoys me. I just can't be bothered with it. Like, so I'd just rather not take the work on.
It's the old school way of thinking, but it's the way it is, isn't it?
No, exactly.
Your rodent control, do you do any, because obviously you're into the shooting, do you do any shoots with ratting? Do you do that?
Yeah, I do. Not a mass amount of it, but we do it. On one of the sites, the waste site, so we try and get in there as much as we can, as much as they'll allow us. And we're always... It's management. It's not. You're never going to eradicate it. It's management, you know. And it's we do that there, and then there's some farms as well where it's the best option for us.
Can you talk farmer? Can you talk farmer? Do you get on well with the farmers? Can you talk farmer? I can't. It's hard to get on with them. You've got to be. They don't trust you. You've got to be that way. Like coming from Gamekeeper world, you'll be fine. But when you're outside that world, it's a little bit hard. It is.
It can be cliquey. Like, it can be cliquey, the farming industry. But the farming industry up here is really good. Like, and everyone helps everyone and supports everyone and stuff. But the Highlands is a massive place, but it's such a small place. Everybody knows everybody. Like, you can't fart up here without someone 50 miles away knowing about it. Like, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's like, it is absolutely ridiculous. Like, and how big an area it is, but everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, no, it's it does sound like a big area. It's probably because Rutland's my hometown's probably got, well, where I live, population over 40,000.
Yeah, so like I don't know what the population is in the village we're in here, but like the 10 miles away is like the closest town with a supermarket and things, you know, where I grew up in Tain, and I think its population is probably like 5,000 or 6,000, something like that.
Oh, so Rutland kind of is bigger.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Like, and there's nothing up here. Like, I'm just actually having a look at this to see what the population of, like, Inverness is our biggest city.
I can't believe what Adam's just said.
Oh,
you can't talk farmer, talk to the farmer's daughter. Adam.
That gets you in trouble too, though. So I just in 2021, Inverness had a population of 82,383, and that's the closest city.
So we are smaller. Then we are smaller.
Yeah, but that's a city. Like, that's
usually it's usually about 1 million for a city.
There's only there's more. I can't remember. Was the population of Scotland like 7 million or 9 million or something like that? As the population of the whole of Scotland, like, it's tiny. There's more people in London than there is in the whole of Scotland.
Well, that place is too busy.
Yeah, I hate it.
I've been there. It's fine, but it's busy. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I was down there in February.
It's hot, isn't it?
It's just calming.
It's pollution levels.
Yeah,
that's what does it.
I noticed this time it wasn't as bad, but like a few years ago when I was last there, before then, you would go into like your hotel at night and you would take like a face wipe, you know, a baby wipe or whatever. You go like that, and it was just like black with like pollution and dirt and soot. Yeah. You know, it wasn't as bad.
I've got a couple of mates that live there. And I asked them what's going on. It's so sticky. I said, it's the humidity. He says, no, mate, it's the humidity, but it's the since COVID, he says the pollution levels have gone up, and he said that's what you're feeling. It's the humidity mixed with the pollution, but he says it feels like it's sticky. Yeah,
I remember driving to I was at Gatwick. We were driving. Well, I wasn't driving. Like, we were getting a taxi or an Uber or whatever it was out to the airport, and as you're driving, you can just see this like haze, and it's just like, not for me. It's too busy. I get like. I get blinking annoyed when things are too big. Like, Inverness is too busy for me. Like,
definitely is then.
I'm a weirdo like that, but it's like people walking past. But around here, you walk down the street, like the high street in Tane, say, and even if you don't know the person, when you're walking past someone, if you make eye contact, you'd be like, "How's it going?" Hi, even if you don't know them, it's just the mannerism of the Highlands,
Oh no, it's a good thing. It's what used to happen in the old days. It's like around here, not everyone will speak to you because they've got AirPods in, but a lot of the old people, with like elderly people, if you say morning, they'll always say morning back to you and hello.
Yeah,
they will.
Yeah,
but that's nice. That still exists up your end. Where I live, it's fine, but I can imagine cities.
We're still behind the times.
I would say, you probably are, maybe, but what else was I going to say? Do you do a lot of rodent proofing jobs?
Minor proofing, not major proofing. It depends on the situation, like I don't go gang ho with it and stuff like that. I'll maybe recommend something needs done, and then if the customer wants it done, then we can look at it. But half the time they're not interested. They're like, "I'll just call you again when the problem comes back." And it's like, well, why not get rid of this problem, once and for all type thing? But they just,
It's like when you tell them that you need to get a drain survey and then they don't.
Yeah.
It's hard though when you give the recommendation and it's not something we offer, but we say you have to get someone else to do it. But
same here. But it's like I've got to the point now of like, I know it's been talked about in a few podcasts and stuff about like recommendations on treatment reports and stuff like that. When do you, like, at what point do you just stop writing it? I don't. I just write it. Like now I'm like, I've recommended it. I've spoke to you about it. I've spoken to management about it or whatever. You're not going to do it. That's your problem. It's not on you. It's not on me. So it's on you. Like, I'm just like, pay your bill. Like I'm at that point now where quite like, just, and it's, you're as well speaking to a brick wall sometimes,
Yeah,
when you
are correct. I know exactly what you mean, especially with certain monthly contracts. Sometimes I'm not saying any in particular. Yes. I'm just saying a lot of customers don't always want to spend that. So even though it's not that much. A lot of the time, you don't even charge much on top. It's not that much, but it is what it is, though, isn't it? Everyone experiences that in the industry.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I say, we'll do minor proofing and stuff like that, like on a job, but not.
Yeah, we do. We only do minor. We don't do the big proofing. We don't.
No. It's something I would like to get more into, to be totally honest, or have the option to offer as well. Like, so it's something you could actually upsell as well. On top of services and stuff like that. But right now, I don't have the capacity or the time for it.
I mean, it's obviously something for the future, but
100%.
But we might look into it more in the future. It just we've got a lot of things trying to do at the minute, but we do obviously when we do people's air bricks, we do a lot of that. We do the air vents, we do that, but it's you've got to be good at selling as well. You've got to be good at talking. You know how to word it as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm learning all that as well. I am.
Fear factor.
I've actually done. I'll tell you what was fear factor when I knocked on a few doors at commercial places and asked them about pest control. They were all nice. None of them rang me back, but I did it.
Yeah.
It was quite scary, but everyone was nice.
Yeah. I remember when I started out, like, I remember just like going around and like I would wait for somewhere to phone me and everything. I'm like, this isn't working, and like I would go to like a restaurant or something, and I remember asking them the first time, and I was like, just like a mess, like, and everything. Now I'm like, now I'm fortunate right now, but I need to. Like thinking forward, I can't be like this. But right now, I'm fortunate. I don't need to take it on. So like when I get a call for something like that, I'm like, look, I'd be struggling to fit you in, literally, because I'm busy at the moment, unfortunately. But we can certainly come round and price it for you, you know, give you a shout and sort of thing. So we'll go around, price it and whatnot. And I'm like, that's the price there per month or whatever, or like one off, you know, whatever the job is. And before, I'd always used to like be a busy fool when I first started out. I had to take everything I could. Like I literally, I had nothing when I started. Like I'll never forget like what I started with. And I literally, to where I am now and where I'm wanting to go and going to be, I'm still a long way off where I want to be. Yeah. And I'm a bit behind where I want to be. And I've had some setbacks, don't get me wrong, but I'm quite proud of myself for what I've done. And like, you know, it's hard to build from nothing, if that makes sense. Like if you sorry, carry on.
I mean, obviously I'm going off what you're saying because obviously, you know, I joined my dad. My dad did all that. He built the business up. So he told me it took him 6 months to get his first call. But you've got to remember, though, he didn't go full time. He was doing it as a side job to start with, to build up before he left his job. So, but see, I
think a lot of people who start doing that as well on the side and everything, that's kind of the way to do it because you have to build up that reputation, you have to build up that client base, you know, and all that sort of stuff. I had no option. Like I did have options. That's lies. I had options to go and get another job and stuff. But I was like, I'm done working for people. Like management just pissed me off. Like the problem, like it's not all management, but obviously, but like, you know, places I've worked, management are always right, and it's like, you don't know, like. If you're
a lot of them don't know anything. They all think they do.
Oh, just
some of them do, but a lot they're not trained. They don't speak to you right. I worked in a terrible place for over 16 years. I stupidly stayed there when I was 19, and then and I left there. I went with my dad, but it's, you know, Tox's place called Tox. You know, where they shout at you, things like that. Very old school. But I learned a lot there. But nothing good.
You know what though, like. It's probably opened your eyes. Like there was probably, although you're getting shouted at and stuff, there's probably times where it actually helped you being shouted at and whatnot. You know, like when I was gamekeeping, and on shoot days we'd have the line of beaters. Oh mate, honestly, I was horrible. Like I'll admit it, I'd go through them like a dose of the shits. But I'd sit down beside them at lunchtime and have lunch with them and get the crack. And then the next day, like 10 minutes later, it was forgotten about. It was like just at that point because I was like so stressed about stuff, you know. But like when you like management though as well, when they've got a little bit of knowledge of every department in a business, they think they're a fucking expert on everything, and it's just like no.
Or like when someone's just came in and a new boss, and they've got that little bit of power, and they think they're Mr. High and Mighty.
Power happy.
I'll say.
But it's like, you know, and again, like me taking someone on, right, and then becoming a boss, as a sense, like whoever I take on, they'd only put like 50% of what I put in, if I'm lucky. You know, it's like they don't care. But people, like I find a lot of like management, bosses, whatever, owners, whatever, they expect so much from their staff, and it's like, well, hold on a minute, are you paying them the same as you're paying yourself or your manager?
Not.
So why the fuck would they do so much? You know, it's just like
common sense.
Yeah, no, but like this little power trips and like, you know, it's like if you worked for, I'm just going to say a hotel because it's simple to sort of use, but there's loads of different departments within a hotel, and you've got a general manager who knows a little bit about HR, a little bit about front of house, a little bit about the kitchen, a little bit about this, but he's an expert in it all. And you're like, no, you're not. Actually listen to the people who are doing that job. Like, listen to the people who, you know, are on the ground, boots on the ground, doing that job. Listen to them. Seek advice from them. They'll respect you more as well. You know, it's just, but I got sick fed up of it. So like I say, when I started, I had no choice, but okay, I could have got another job or gone and worked anywhere else or got a random day job, whatever. But I wasn't not that type of person anymore. And I was just at that point, and I was like, I have to succeed. And I had failures and everything. But the best thing that I was told, and it's so true, and it still stays with me today, is when you make a mistake and fail fast and move on.
And you learn from it as well.
If you don't learn from it, you've made the wrong mistake.
Yeah,
you've not made it properly. You've not made the mistake properly, and don't be afraid to take the risk as well. And it's so easy for you to sit and say, because it's worked out for you and all that, to take that risk.
Yeah.
I shit myself every time, still to this day, when I take a risk, especially like when it involves like big financial risks.
Yeah,
but
you would though.
Oh, I do, I do. It's like, well, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but we're doing a bit of stuff with UK Tang Supplies just now. That's it's costly, we'll say, very costly. And I'm like, shit, I don't even know if we're doing new product development basically, but I don't know if it's going to sell. Yeah. I've invested a lot of money into this, but if you don't try,
well, exactly. You are right. Risk versus risk and reward. It can pay off. It can.
It can, but it can hurt. It can really hurt. And it's things like that. But I mean, I wouldn't go being stupid with it. No. If you can't afford to lose what you're going to risk, regardless whether it be a staff member, money, a vehicle, don't risk it. If you can't afford to lose it, don't risk it.
There's some great advice in here, I tell you. There's some really good advice for people that are listening. There is. But again,
you think it's a lot of it's common sense, though. Like if you think about it, your van, right? If there's a flood and there's a big puddle, but you need to get to that house, and you've just watched a car drive through and disappear in this big puddle, are you going to risk it?
No, we turn round.
Exactly. So, but if you know.
But what made me laugh was one of them was a Range Rover, and he got stuck. But with Range Rovers, you're supposed to press the button and they go upwards. This person didn't obviously know how to use it. But if you could afford to risk that van, and it means that you get there an hour earlier where you're going or whatever, and if you just sat to the side of where the other vehicle went and you could get past, take the risk. If you can afford to lose that vehicle. Exactly.
But if you can't, don't do it.
No, you're right, correct.
But it's. You look at. I don't know if this happens with you down there or not at all, but like, I was at a job today, and I phoned the customer, and I said to them, like, I was actually in the area. I says I can get round and we'll get a look at this, and he's like, oh, I'm not at home, and I was like, all right, okay. He says, but the house is open. He says, I've got a Ring doorbell, so just cart on. And it happens all the time up here. But I'm like, right, it's horrible though, because I'm like, yeah, no problem at all, as long as you're happy for me to enter the property. And I always get them to text me saying they're happy and they give me permission to enter the property. And what I do is, without them being there, I text them when I'm entering the property, and I text them when I leave the property. And I always make sure I make sure I put the address in it. So if they haven't said, I give you permission to enter number 3 Park Lane or something like that, without my permission, then I always say, I'm entering your property right now at number 3 Park Lane, and then I message when I've left your property. So it covers me, if anything, because I've had it happen with it. I've had it happen, and they say, "Oh, you stole from me," and all this shit, and I'm like, no. Here, honestly, like, so I was like, So I don't like doing it.
People don't realise though, like, you're a business owner, what damage nicking can do, and you wouldn't you wouldn't do that. It's more than you. No. It's reputation. Like, is that someone trying to get a free job out of you?
So that was for that. No, so, but like what I was sort of getting to with it is, it's a risk.
It is
if you don't feel, you know what I mean. But I take that risk as well. But that job, I've had it twice where I've been accused of stealing. And you'll laugh at these, but there was for a local authority. I was doing the job, and said I can go in without them being there. They text me and everything. That was fine. I went into the house, did the job. That was fine. Later on that night, I get a message from them saying, like, you fucking thief. And I was like, what? So I was like phoning them. They wouldn't answer and everything. The next day, I had the local authority on the phone to me, like, oh, you know, they've accused you of stealing. And the twice it's happened to me. And do you know the two times? One time it was like, it's a 37 pence or something like that. That's what I got accused of stealing. I was just like,
really?
Honestly. But they have to follow up for the paper trail, you know, which is fine. I have no problem with it. But I was like, if you want, I'll give them 50 pence. Like, you know, just do one. And the second time I got accused of, you'll laugh at this one, a fucking hairdryer.
Nicking a hairdryer? Really? You got no hair like me.
Exactly. I was just like,
was the person after a new hair? Clearly they were after a new hairdryer.
Yeah, she was. She was after a new hairdryer, like, and trying to get it off, like, claim it off the local authority, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, you've picked the wrong lie there. Like,
exactly.
You know what? But, like, I was a bit standoffish doing it again, you know, but then I'm like, bugger it. Like, I take that now, you know, it's on me at the end of the day.
That's fair enough, that is. Yeah. That is, but yeah, it's, I've only ever done it once, on one job, and it was like, the guy didn't tell us, he's like, no, obviously I'm not saying where it is, but he leaves his side door ajar some days. So I'm like, hello, pest control. No one's there. I went back to the van, but there's nobody there, but the door's open.
Yeah.
So he says, don't go in because he hasn't given us permission. So he checks, I'm so sorry. I left the door so you could go in. Oh, I do it all the time. I'm like, well, you didn't say that.
Yeah. But now you know. Yeah. You know, it's one of them, eh?
Well, we finished that job now. It was a long while ago, but I've never experienced it before. I haven't.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's up here again. Like I say, everybody knows everybody up here. I mean, it's getting worse up here, like for theft wise and stuff like that. You know, it's getting worse, but it's quite good that there's still that close knit community that keep an eye on everything. You know.
Yeah, that's good. That is.
It's handy because it means you can get the jobs done and not have to go back and forth all the time.
Oh, it can be annoying when we don't actually give like set like we'll just say it's approximated, and we send a message when we're on the way because we've got a digital system now, and we say every message says this is a time, but it's approximate. And the amount of people that don't read that. This is a rough approximated time. Yeah. Oh, you said you were coming then? No, I didn't. You read it. It said approximated.
I'll organise jobs like, say, I phoned today for tomorrow or the next day or whatever, you know, sort of thing. But I'll just say, like, I'll be with you sometime between. And I hate, this is the thing, I hate, you know, when you get it, you've got a delivery that you have to wait in for or something, right? And then you get the text message like, so-and-so has your parcel. They'll be with you between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. You're like, like, you know,
you're right.
It drives me insane, but I do it sometimes. But like, I'll be like, oh, I'll be with you like tomorrow, sometime between like 11 and 1 or something. You know, I'll give them as small a time slot as I can because you never know what's going to happen at that job. So I always try and give my time. Yeah, give myself time. Sorry, to allow for delays and stuff. You know, but
I know what you're saying.
Frequently it doesn't happen, and then like the last job I did today, I was running late for, and I text them saying, "Look, I'm on my way. I've been held up. I'm really sorry." And I was like, "I'll be 15, 20 minutes late or something." And they were fine because they were home for the night anyway. But it's just that, you know, time slot, like saying I'll be there at 12. What if you get stuck behind a lorry?
Exactly.
And then
I go. I'll be there about 12-ish.
It's just my favourite word.
I put we're on the way because there's some jobs we have where there's a train line basically, and once this bloody train line goes down, it can be 10, 20, 30 minutes. It can.
Oh.
So, but that's more towards the West Deeping side. There's like a train line that it's a massive one. But then, but generally, I tell the people that obviously it depends on if we make it past the train line.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, it's a bit aware. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like this, like when you're saying ish, that's my favorite word. It's like
I don't always use it, but it depends.
Yeah.
I don't always use it.
Oh, you don't always? Sorry, I thought you said you always use it.
No, I do use it sometimes, but
I always use it. Like,
you can't be wrong then, can you?
No, exactly. I wasn't late because I said 12-ish. Maybe 2 o'clock now, but it's still ish. But no, I'll say that like for return visits and stuff like that, follow-up visits, it's like, I'll be back I'll be back to you in about sort of, 5 days ish. But that covers me for up to 10 days. You know what I mean? It's just, I always say ish, and I always make a joke about it and say, I must stress the ish part. But I try to, but it's just sometimes when we're busy, you can't, sometimes there's jobs coming in quicker than you're getting them blinking done, and you're sort of chasing your tail the whole time, But the area we cover is massive, so there's a lot of driving.
So we cover about 25 miles to sometimes 35, but that's a contract. There's like jobs on the way. But
gotcha.
Do you cover much further than that then?
If I do, like this, I find this amazing. Like, and to me, it's hilarious because, like, I know a lot of folk I speak to, and they're like, "Yeah, we just covered a 10-mile radius," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they've
10 miles, we'd be dead with no business. However, if we've got a job where it's worth it, we will go further afield.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Yeah. Everything, I'll go as far as you want for the right price. But like people, covering a 10, 20-mile radius and like they've got 4 employees. I'm like, what? Like,
I don't know how you do that.
But for me, I can't understand that because the density of people, down in these big cities compared to up here, it's different. So
if you're 10 miles in London, it's very different.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I don't even have a radius in that sense, but like if I covered a radius of 30 miles, I wouldn't have a lot of work, put it that way. But for example, on Friday there past, I think I was actually saying to you, like, I'd gone to that job and they knew I was going on Wednesday. They were told on the Wednesday I was going. That I was going on the Friday, and it was for a school. And the primary schools, they close at 3 p.m. up here. Some are now different, but they were told about it and everything. That was great. Thank you very much. See you on Friday, sort of thing. Turned up, and it normally takes me to get to this place about 3 hours or something like that of driving to the place.
Yeah.
It took me 4.5 because of traffic and tourists on the road to turn up, and you have to get a ferry as well. And
okay.
I turned up and the school was closed. I was not impressed, to say the least.
It's strange, isn't it?
Well, no, what it is they closed because they've got the new closing time on a Friday afternoon. They now close at 12:30 and not 3. But no one thought to tell me. Like
12 for a primary school seems very strange. It does.
I think it's down to the staffing levels and the pupil levels. It's a very remote school. So there's not a lot of people. But like, I travelled, like, say, it took me 4.5 hours. So basically, to put it into perspective, I did 9 hours of driving. Well, yeah, but I had other jobs to do in that area, but I did 9 hours of driving on Friday for 3 jobs.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's not good.
It's a big area up here,
It sounds it. It really does sound it.
I wasn't happy. Like, I was not happy.
You told me. I heard the voice note.
Yeah, and that was tame. that was tame.
Yeah.
But I think if the cars in front of me could have heard me that were holding me up, it would have been a different story. But it's just like, our area is massive up here, and that's the problem. We lose a lot of time traveling between jobs and stuff, so that's what sets us back a lot and stuff. So, but it's nice. Our like on the drives, it's stunning scenery, and it's beautiful, and on a nice day, on a wet day, it's not. But we take it for granted,
Well, yeah, everyone says to us, you must go Rutland Water all the time. It's beautiful. I'm like, we do go, but more so now they've got the kids. But a lot of people never go. Yeah, all the tourists love it. It's a tourist attraction, obviously.
But you take it for granted when you're there, It's like this North Coast 500 that we have up here now, like going around the North Coast, like the 500 miles around the North Coast of Scotland. And it's a stunning, and I honestly highly recommend anyone to come up and do it. Like, it's beautiful, especially if you get the weather for it. But in the summer, like, this time of year, be prepared for midges. But like, just come and do it. It's brilliant. However, if you see my van behind you, pull in. But like, it's I see it every day when I'm doing my work every day, and you take it for granted, And it's bad. I shouldn't take it for granted, but you do.
Everyone takes the local area for granted, don't they? They do.
Of course they do. Yeah,
they do. So so I reckon I've took up enough time. That was a fun conversation, Andrew. That was.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
An hour and 26 we got, but that was a fun conversation. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
And thanks to everyone. Jason, McPhee, Adam, Jenny in chat, but thanks for tuning in. And I would say, do you want to tell people where they can find... Oh, why is it focusing? I got a new camera. There we go. It auto-focuses.
As you move. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it. Do you want to tell people where they can find you for Highland Pest Response or not? Do you want to just say, or do you just want to say UK Batangs at the end? You can.
Yeah, I mean, you can get in touch with me, no problem at all. I'm more than happy to speak to anybody, about anything if I can help in some way or whatever for Highland Pest Response or UK Batang Supplies. It's no problem. Highland Pest Response website at the moment is literally just a homepage because of reasons that I was hacked, and I've never put it back up properly. Someone hacked me and tried to steal my domain name and everything like that. It's never been back up since, and we're working on it at the moment now. I've gone to a new website person, and we're working on getting a new one done and stuff like that but not in the immediate future. But the contact information's on there if they need to get in touch for whatever reason, and the same on UK Batang Supplies. If I don't answer or whatever, leave a voicemail, I will get back to you. So yeah.
I will put it in the description. It currently isn't in there, I don't think, but I will put them both in the description after.
Yeah, no problem.
I will. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next week. Next week, we have Mark Porter on from Porter's Pest Control. We do. He celebrated 8 years he has in the business. He's built up. That'll be a good story. Yeah. But Jason said, thanks both. A really good podcast tonight. I'm using Batangs tomorrow on a few mole jobs. Jason said. Good stuff. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Right. They're a good trap. I do love them there. That's the thing. Yeah. So I've only ever used barrel traps. Have you? So far. Have you got Batangs? What do you mean? Have you got some? Have you got some? No. I've only got barrel traps. I've only ever used. I'm a newbie in the mole world. I am. Yeah. But I don't claim to be an expert, put it that way. But I get good results on jobs, so that's all that matters to the customer. That's the main thing. Yes. It's I remember doing when I started doing a few moles and stuff like that, and then I went on Alan Jones's practical mole catching course, and it's just opens your eyes to that bigger world, and what I learned on there I use daily now. It's
never looked back on it.
Oh, that's fair enough. I might get to it at some point, that course, but
yeah, no, it's definitely worth doing it, mate.
But yeah, I will just press end stream, but stay on for a second. You don't have to disappear. But yeah,
no worries.
I've done it again. Right, I'll get used to this camera by next week. Right, there we go. Right, thanks everyone, and I will see you next week. And thanks to everyone watching and listening on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and after the fact on all podcast platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please leave a review on Apple or Spotify. It helps the algorithm. But yeah, thanks everyone, and I'll speak to you soon.